Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Susie Field with Southern Sydney Business Education Network. I just want to welcome you all to our second webinar in a series in the Learning Without Limits project on assistive technology. Tonight's webinar is going to focus on software solutions such as the open source software My Study Bar to help people with learning difficulties, particularly when they're using a PC or a laptop. The webinar is brought to you by the Learning Without Limits project. This project was an initiative of Paula Goulden from the Sutherland Shire Dyslexia Support Group. She set this project in motion several years ago with the assistance of her local partnership broker from Southern Sydney, Ben. The aim of the partnership is to educate parents, students and teachers on what assistive technologies are out there to help students with learning difficulties. Other organisations that have been involved over the years that we would like to thank are Southern Sydney Ben, Engadine District Youth Services, NDCO, the Department of Education and Communities, Youth Connections, Project Youth, and a special thank you goes to David Pescott from Sailors with Disabilities. He has generously donated money to fund our projects over the years. Your presenter tonight is Dianne James, Head Teacher, Technology and Applied Studies at Lucas Heights Community School. She's well versed in assistive technology to assist students with dyslexia and learning difficulties. She's conducted all our teacher training sessions and is very passionate about the technology available to make the lives of students with these difficulties that much easier. Just some housekeeping issues. Please ensure that your speaker is on. If you find that you are having technical issues, feel free to type them in the chat box and I'll help where I can. But also be aware we will be sending a link out with the recording of this webinar in the next few days. So you will get that as well as a copy of the presentation. There is a phone-in option. If you find you're not hearing the presentation and you'd like to phone in, you can dial 1-800-087-367. And the participant passcode is 603-507-9711. That's like a conference call, so just ensure that your phone is muted, please. And as I said, if you do have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat section. Dianne will address some questions at the end of the presentation. She will be toggling between a PowerPoint presentation and taking you to different websites. So if your screen goes blue for a second or two, it's simply us sharing our screen and going back and forth. There is no technical problems there. That's all from me. I will now hand you over to Dianne. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Susie, and thank you for all the excellent work you've done putting this webinar series together. As Susie said, a couple of weeks ago, I presented iPad apps to support students with literacy-based learning issues, and tonight I'm going to be looking at software solutions. So it's very important that you choose the best software available to suit individual learning needs. There is a lot of software out there. It can be very expensive and a lot of it is also free. So you just need to be selective, look around, see what's available, and then make your selection. The software that I'm going to present tonight is Natural Reader, Dragon Dictation, Inspiration, some typing tutors, My Study Bar, Text Help Read and Write Gold, Win, Claro Read, and Live Scribe recording pens. Some of you may be aware that students in DEC schools do get a range of software for free, and this is to support the BYOD, or Bring Your Own Device, policies that the Department of Education and Training has put in place. So I've given you a link here to the free software for DEC students. Each year, students can just download one lot of free software. So there is Microsoft Office Suite 2013, also the Adobe Creative Suite, which is, as most people may be aware, a couple of $1,000s worth of free software. And there's also other software on the site. So that's for all students in Department of Education and Community schools. Now, I'm just going to look at text-to-speech. There is accessibility options on each computer in your control panel. Look for the ease of access, and there is some speech recognition in there, as well as several voices that you can use. So go to your control panel and look at ease of access and see what accessibility features are already built into your computer. In terms of text-to-speech, you have to understand what it is that the student requires. Some students may only require text-to-speech. So a very good software, a free piece of software, is Natural Reader. So this may be the only piece of software that a student requires, is to turn written text into speech so that they can follow along in class. Instead of reading all the information, they'll be able to turn it into speech. Now, as I said, this is free software, and students can read any Word, PDF, web page. It is a floating toolbar that will go onto the page, so students can move it around anywhere. They can change the speed, they can change the voice. As I said, it is free to use and download. However, there is also, if you want additional features, you can pay extra for that. I'm just going to take you to the web link for Natural Reader, so just bear with me. This will change your screen over. Now, this is the Natural Reader website. I'm going to highlight some text at the bottom of the page. You can open up, as you can see there is an add documents, where you can add in your documents and use this as from the web, or otherwise you can download it at home. So you can use it as a web version or at home. I'm just going to convert this text into speech by hitting the play button on your screen.
Natural Reader is a text-to-speech software with natural sounding voices. This easy-to-use software can convert any written text such as MS Word, web page, PDF files, and emails into spoken words. Natural Reader can also convert any written text into audio files such as MP3 or WAV for your CD player or iPod. Natural Reader has many other functions, such as OCR. OCR function works with your scanner to convert printed characters into digital text, and it is up to 99% accurate. This allows you to listen to your printed file or edit it in the word processing program.
I'm just going to scroll down further on the screen so that you can see the different pricing options. So the free version has Microsoft Voices, it has the floating toolbar and the text-to-speech. If, however, you want better sounding voices, then you might want to upgrade to the personal version, and you'll notice that that will also convert to MP3 files. So if students like to learn by listening to an audio file, they convert the text into an MP3, and that way they can listen to it on their iPhone, their iPod, or whatever device they choose to listen to their information on. You can see the ultimate version is where it has the OCR function. So that can then, OCR is optical character recognition, and that will then convert, if you take a photo of text, that will also allow that photo of the text to be able to be converted into text that the students can then change into an MP3 file or just listen to it. I'll just take you back to the presentation, so your screen may go just for a moment. So that's text-to-speech, that's Natural Reader. I'm now going to look at voice-to-text. So students who may have trouble typing and keeping up can actually talk and get their voice converted into text. So you dictate and edit documents, emails, instant messages, Facebook, whatever it is they're using. Now, with this piece of software, you do have to practice with it. Over time, it gets to learn your voice and convert your voice into text, but it does need a while to practice. So that's personalising all of your voice and getting that into text. It is about $100 for this piece of software. It can be very powerful for some students. I won't go to that web link. I'm just going to go on to the next page. You can have a look at that further yourself. Now, a fortnight ago when I presented the iPad apps, I did look at Inspiration as an app. It is also a piece of software that you can purchase. It has come down in price considerably. When I first looked at this piece of software, it was around the $100 mark. So now you can purchase it for $40. It is, and I think that is because now there is a lot of mind mapping software, a lot of free source mind mapping software available as well. I will look at another one just a little bit later on. However, Inspiration remains my favourite mind mapping software. It is very good for visual learners, students who learn by looking at images rather than listening to audio or reading. So students can make a mind map, and I'm just using the pointer. So you can see a mind map, a visual representation of information, and with one click that will change that into an outline view. So it helps students when they're writing essays to start structuring their information. Mind maps are also a very good study tool for students when they've got an exam. Students need to change their information to be able to revise it, so they can make a mind map of it. I will take you to this video tutorial. It's only a short 1-minute tutorial just to show you Inspiration. Just one moment while I share the screen with you. Now I'm just going to play this video.
Comprehend, create, communicate, achieve more. Welcome to Inspiration, the ultimate thinking and learning tool. Inspiration's powerful diagram and map views support a full range of visual learning methodologies, webs, idea maps, mind maps, concept maps, graphic organizers, process flows, and much more. To take notes, organize information, and structure writing for plans, papers, and reports, Inspiration includes a fully integrated outline view. And with Inspiration's Presentation Manager, you can transform work into polished presentations that communicate ideas clearly and demonstrate understanding and knowledge. Inspiration's starter screen makes it easy to begin. Included, you'll find more than 100 cross-curricular templates designed to help students and educators get a jump start on projects. If needed, educators can quickly modify templates to match lesson plans or create new templates. In Diagram View, you'll find everything you need to brainstorm ideas, structure your thoughts, and visually communicate concepts to strengthen understanding. With an interface that's identical on Macintosh and Windows platforms, Inspiration is easy to use in any setting. The main idea symbol provides your starting point. Just type to add an idea. Inspiration's rapid fire tool is great for quickly capturing ideas while brainstorming. Hitting enter makes a separate symbol for each new idea. The Create tool is one of many ways symbols can be added to a diagram. You can browse Inspiration's built-in libraries to find just the right image to represent your idea. Inspiration also offers a curriculum-rich searchable collection of symbols. Use color and other formatting to reinforce categorization or call attention to information. As you make connections between ideas, use links to show relationships and demonstrate comprehension. Inspiration makes it easy to move symbols. Just click and drag them anywhere on the diagram. Any links automatically adjust. Adding text on a link helps define the relationship between the ideas. Add custom text or select from built-in linking phrases. Notes allow you to expand topics into writing, quickly express thoughts, or document research. Even include hyperlinks as you work. The Arrange tool helps transform a free-form diagram into a more structured layout. As you develop ideas in Diagram View, Inspiration also creates an outline of your work.
Right, so I'll take you back.
In outline view, Inspiration structures information into a traditional hierarchy. All symbol text appears as topics and subtopics. Notes text is also visible in outline view. Any link text added in the diagram also appears, but can be hidden if desired. Just click and type to add a new topic. In the same way, subtopics can be added to further develop.
All right, I might just pause it there. You can go and look at that video anytime you like, just to showing you inspiration. So that's a great mind mapping tool. As I said, there is other free mind mapping software available as well, and I'll look at another one in a moment. EduApps. Now, EduApps there is 83 pieces of free software on the EduApps website, and this is developed in Scotland to assist students with learning difficulties. I will take you to the EduApps web link so that you can have a look at some of the pieces of software. The most popular piece of software that they have, which is an actual floating toolbar, is the My Study Bar floating toolbar that you can see on the screen here, and I will look at that more in detail in a moment. So I'll take you to the EduApps site, and you can see just how many pieces of software there is available on this site. So this is EduApps, and you can see there's 8 software collections that you can download for free. There's Access Apps, Teach Apps, Learn Apps, My Study Bar, My Viz Bar, My Access, Create and Convert. And on this web link that I've taken to you, here there is links to My Study Bar tutorials and video links as well. I'm just going to go along to the apps list, and this is where, when you scroll down, you can see just how many pieces of free software is available. I will just show you XMind, which is another mind mapping piece of software. It's a very good free mind mapping software, so if you didn't want to buy Inspiration, you can just download XMind. It does a lot of similar things to Inspiration, but it perhaps doesn't look quite as pretty and doesn't have quite as many accessible features to it. And if you look on this site, you can see that there is the free download link to XMind. I'll just close that screen and go back to the apps list. So you can just download individual pieces of software, or when I go back to the presentation, I'll show you the My Study Bar toolbar. But I think you'll agree, when you have a look at this list, there's probably something on there that you would find very useful. So I'll just close this and take you back to the presentation. As I said, I'm just going to give you a little bit more detail on My Study Bar. My Study Bar as a floating toolbar, I just have the My Study Bar word tutorials and video tutorials as a link on this page. Now, My Study Bar is broken up into planning, reading, writing, vision and voice. So in the planning section, there is XMind, so that's already included in the My Study Bar software. The good thing about My Study Bar is that you can download this onto a USB, which makes the software portable for students. So they can just plug that into any computer at school and it just comes up. It's quite a discreet floating toolbar that they can move around on the screen. They can minimize, and if they've got a little headsets that they put in, it just looks like they're listening to music, and other students won't know that they're actually getting their text read to them. So it is quite a discreet piece of software that they can use. I'm just going to give you a little bit more detail on XMind. As I said, that's a mind mapping program, very good mind mapping program. Sunbird, which is a little calendar that may help them keep organised with their homework, etc. So they can just, because it's portable, it's on a USB, they can add their homework in anywhere they are on a computer. There's Hot Notes, which is just sticky notes that can go up on their screen as little reminders on what they need to do. Next, we have the reading apps. Now, there are 3 reading apps here: T-Bar, Rapid Bar, and SS Overlay. These are all very good for students who have scotopic sensitivity syndrome, or in other words, Irlen syndrome. So what this does is allows them, it visually changes the colour of the screen to help students who do have Irlen change the colours that are most suitable for them to help them to read text. So T-Bar, as you can see, is just a masks in a bar across their screen, and they can change the colour of that masking. Rapid Set allows them to change the text colour and the overlay colour, and to get things looking visually best on their screen. And there's also SS Overlay, which is a screen tint. So that will tint the whole colour of the screen for them. Another good app on this is the VU bar, which is a screen ruler. For students who lose track when they're reading, this ruler, they can adjust the size and the height of it and the colour of it, and that allows them just to move down the screen and keep them tracking their information a little bit easier. There is also Orato, which is a text reader. It's a very simple but effective text reader, similar to Natural Reader that you heard it earlier. The thing that you have to remember with My Study Bar when you go to use it is it does take a little while to learn, because it's a whole lot of free open source software put together. They do open and close a little bit differently on the screen, so students need to get used to whereabouts. A lot of it they need to close at the bottom of their screen, or close it on the bar itself. So it does take a little bit to get used to how the piece of software works. But do remember that you don't need to download the whole My Study Bar. If students only want to have 1 or 2 pieces of software, then that's the only pieces of software that they need to put onto their USB, and that way they'll get a little less confused. So just looking now at the writing apps. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different writing apps. Let Me Type is a handy app for word prediction. So it allows students to build up their own dictionaries for their particular topic areas, and hence that increases their vocabulary, and so over time it reduces keystrokes and lessons fatigue. So I have all the video tutorials, and you can go and look at them all in your own time. Lingos is particularly useful for ESL students, or English as a second language students, and for parents who do not speak or read English. So it also accommodates low vision and has inbuilt text to speech. So it's essentially a dictionary that translates words. Now, I will look a little bit more at Balabolka. Balabolka is a very powerful app which does text to speech and also text to audio. So it uses SAPI 4 and SAPI 5 voices, and it also provides a different language feature. There is quite a lot to Balabolka. It does, as I said, do text-to-speech and MP3. I will just play you the Balabolka video so you can get a little bit more understanding of this particular piece of software. Okay, I've just seen a question here. Does the student need to download each of these pieces of software, or does it all come with My Study Bar? Yes, it all comes with My Study Bar. So no, they don't need to download them individually. However, if they only want one piece of software and they don't need all the other pieces of software, they could just download the particular piece of software that is useful to them. So I'll just show you the Balabolka video. I'll just pause that while I share it with you.
For Chatera, and Balabolka is certainly a real gem of a program to use. So I'm just going to give a quick overview. It's quite a comprehensive program, so I'm going to do it stage by stage into different parts. This is the original part. When you open Balabolka, you can see that it's just a white page with a cursor flashing, but you can customize it. It has a whole range of options, and one of the great things about Balabolka is that you can open up multiple documents in it. So Word documents, text documents, HTML and PDFs can all be opened into the pane of Balabolka. And you can see here it retains the formatting as well. So really the first thing to do is you can look at maybe the colours or the skin. Now that white's a bit sore on my eyes, the background, so I'm just going to tone it down a bit with the yellow. So choose something not as brash as that. It's a bit lighter, yeah, it's better. Okay, add that to my custom colours, see OK. And also you can change the font colours, the highlighting colours, so highlight as it reads along as well. And see OK to that, so that's a bit better. Okay, the next stage is to look at the skins, because it also comes with a range of different skins, so you can really customise it to suit your own needs. So there's a grey, a natural colour, sapphire, a bit too bright for myself, and the WLM is quite nice. I'm just going to keep it just the standard as it is for just now. The next stage then is to go into options. I'm going to look at some of the settings, because there's a whole range of settings in there that you can really just get it customised so you have it just exactly as you want it. So I want to ensure that when I start reading, it's going to read at the beginning of the text, but I can also have it at the beginning of the cursor. And also the text is echoed, so as I write, you can write into Balabolka, it will echo either the letters, words or sentences back, so that's a really good feature. Okay, in terms of the view, when you first open it, you might find the buttons are quite small, so if you want to increase the size of the buttons, so you can see them a bit better, there's the large buttons option there. Also, you can dictate whether you're wanting maybe Balabolka to pause in between or after a sentence. So as it's reading back a sentence, you want it to pause slightly, then that's the setting there. This is text, so this is how you can determine whether you want to rename the formatting of a document when you open it up. So if you have a header, for example, headers and styles built in, it will keep those headers when you open it up. And like all good programs, it has some great keyboard shortcuts, so everything can be more or less controlled with the keyboard. F5, for example, will start the speech and stop the speech. And there are some of the files, so RTF, HTML, Office 2007, and the ordinary documents can all be opened up in Balabolka. So it's a very powerful program, and it really is a gem. So that's the first part, and we'll look at a bit more details on the other features that Balabolka has to offer.
Okay, so I'll take you back to the presentation now. I won't show you all the videos on Balabolka because there's another video tutorial on how to change the text to speech and convert it to an MP3 files or import the dictionary and the pronunciation. So there is quite a lot that Balabolka will do. Another great thing about My Study Bar, or another excellent piece of free software, I'm not saying it's the best touch typing tutor program, but for students who do have learning literacy issues, if they can improve their typing speed, it helps them to keep up, particularly in high school, that much easier in the classroom. So just doing some touch typing program about 10 minutes a day can really improve their ability to keep up in the classroom. So this is just a free little typing tutor program on here, but on that EduApp sites there are other free typing programs as well. There are also other better commercially available pieces of typing programs that students can use. So I'm just going to, it is just worthwhile them improving their typing speed. Actually, it's worthwhile all of us improving our typing speed. So a touch typing program is great for anybody. In terms of vision, students who have difficulty with vision, there are a few apps on this My Study Bar that it can improve vision. So there is the magnifier, which, as the name suggests, just magnifies parts of the screen, and you can change the settings on that. This Sona cursor ring, as you can see here, it just creates a big round circle around the cursor so that students can see it a lot easier. I find that actually useful to use in the classroom. Come on, students, let's all look here, and they can see much easier where the pointer is on the screen. And Thunder is a screen reader, so if students need everything read to them on the page, Thunder will do that for them. In terms of voice, this is an elementary but functional voice recognition app. So it's similar to Dragon Naturally Speaking, but nowhere near as comprehensive as Dragon Naturally Speaking. But if they want to try out a voice recognition app, then they can certainly do that. I'll just have a look at some of these questions. Phonics Alive programs. I'll just think about the phonics question. If somebody else at home has a good phonics program that they would like to recommend, I'm used to a lot of teaching sites that we go to which have very good free phonics programs to them. So it's just a matter of searching for particular phonics programs and looking at those. There's a lot more things available for free on the sites. It is a little bit a time ago since I needed a lot of that phonics information. All right, I'm just going to look at web links and questions. Text Help Read and Write Gold is very similar to My Study Bar. However, it is much more feature laden than and easier to use, I've got to say, than My Study Bar. I will take you to the web link for this. It is $700. I did purchase this particular piece of software. It is very good, I've got to say. And it works from a USB drive, just like My Study Bar. As I said, it's just a lot easier to use than My Study Bar and has a lot more features to it. For $700, you would expect that. So I'll just take you to this web link just to show you some of the features to My Study Bar. It is put out by Electronics, and they do have, oops, sorry, I'll just share that again. Not sure what happened. Okay. It is put out by Spectronics, and they do have a lot of very good pieces of software. They have, as you can see from the catalogue here, you would actually find some of the phonics programs the other lady was asking about on the Spectronics site here. I'll just take you, I'll just close this and go to, this is the page that I'm after. Just one moment. Back to the presentation and take you to the text help training tutorials. Sorry, I'm just trying to get used to this. Here we go. So on this page, you can see it acts like a floating toolbar as well. There are video tutorials for every single feature of the My Study Bar floating toolbar. I was just going to show you the picture dictionary. I'll just show you this video now.
Picture dictionary.
I'll just pause it for one moment just to point out the floating toolbar at top here. So that toolbar is customizable, so you can put on whichever particular feature of My Study, Text Help Read and Write Gold that you would like.
The Picture Dictionary is an online tool. Therefore, you will need to be online to use this feature. To use the Picture Dictionary, click on the Picture Dictionary icon, then select what you want to look up. The Picture Dictionary will open with its results. If you wish to open the dictionary to get a definition, click here. If you would like to use the image in your document, simply double-click on the image and it will be inserted into your document. The Picture Dictionary will remain open, so you will be able to see the symbol for any other words you select. To close the Picture Dictionary, click on the icon again.
Okay, so as you can see, there are a lot of features to Text Help Read and Write Gold. There's a spell checker, word prediction, sounds like verb checker, calculator, screenshot reader, so it can read any PDF document as well, a scanner, fact finder, screen masking, speech input translator, vocabulary. So a lot of tools on the Text Help Read and Write Gold. I'll just take you back to the presentation. Now there is also Clicker 6, which helps students with writing. Claro Read. Claro Read has a lot of similar, it's also put out by Spectronics, it has a lot of similar features to Text Help Read and Write Gold, as well as My Study Bar. So it's a little bit cheaper and you can have a look at that in your own time to see what features are available on Claro Read to see whether that would be effective. Win is again another similar product to Text Help Read and Write Gold, but put out by a different manufacturer. That is for the student version. There are other versions to this and they do change in price, so you need to look at what it is that you were wanting to be available. There is a LiveScribe Smart Pen. Now the LiveScribe Smart Pen is, whilst you are writing down notes, it will record audio. So when you go to later on, when you go back to look at your notes, you can play the audio that was playing at the same time, and that way students can just write down a few notes and that they will also get an audio recording of what was occurring in the lesson at the same time. So it helps them to keep up. That is basically the presentation for tonight. So if you did have other questions, if you wanted to ask them now, that would be great. I am just thinking about the phonics programs. And I know Macquarie University puts out a very good program as well. The name's just escaping me at the moment, sorry. Thank you, Sherry. As I said, there is a lot more software available. Yes, with the LiveScribe pen, you do need special paper that comes with the that you purchase as well with the LiveScribe Smart Pen. So thank you, Karen. You do need to buy that special paper so that it records at the same time. But don't forget that this webinar link will be available, so you can go back and look at it another time. As I said, there is a lot of other software and information available, and the Spectronics site is very good. I'm just looking up Assistive Technology to find what information you may be looking at. Have a look at the video tutorials before you go any purchasing any information. Do you have any recommendations for younger children, visual learners? On the sorry, just one sec. On the inspiration, there is Kidspiration as well as Inspiration. So that is similar to Inspiration, but at a more basic level. So that is worthwhile having a look at. Yeah. Also have a look. I'm just trying to think. Sorry, my mind is going a little bit blank. There are a lot of sites available now for looking at lots of particular issues. I think Susie's just typing in how you can get the webinar from 2 weeks ago on the iPad app, so it will be available to you. Oh, there you go, you'll get the link for both webinars via this one. With the recording of the last webinar, the links to the videos don't work automatically. Just click on, there's a links section at the side, and just click on the links as it's going through, and that will make it work a lot easier for you. So nowadays students have a lot more options and are able, I think, to keep up a lot better with the